Hey, good morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update. Quite a bit going on in weather. Not any really big red flag on anything too dangerous for, let's say the southern two-thirds of lower Michigan. Of course, we still have winter storm warnings in effect on the far northeast corner of Michigan, lower Michigan, for heavy snowfall, also across the UP. But for the rest of southern lower, we've got heavy rain pushing through now, and once it pushes out, things are really going to turn quite spring-like. They already are turning very amazingly spring-like in places like Benton Harbor, Holland. So let's get you updated. So here's our precipitation with our storm system. It is rain. We had thunderstorms moving across Lake Michigan, and the thunderstorm part stopped as it hit the shoreline, but that rain is pushing across eastern Michigan now, and as soon as the rain ends for you, you're done for the day. I'm seeing amounts already over an inch in places. Now, we've got sleet from Grayling northward, maybe a little pocket of freezing rain in the far northeast, and then heavy snow across the UP. I thought I'd just start with some text observations for you. I just show you the warm front has moved through places in southwest lower Michigan, and that's what's going to get all of us in the southern half of lower Michigan to near 60 degrees. So you see, temperatures already in the upper 30s to lower 40s. Jackson's at 43. We get into the southwest corner. Look at Benton Harbor, sunny, 52. South winds at 13 miles an hour. Grand Rapids, you're still cloudy, 45, but you're going to be having the warm front blow through here very quickly in the next hour or two. Things will just turn really early spring-like. Look at South Haven, 54, partly sunny, southwest wind at 15 miles an hour. Holland, you're at 50 already also. Paul Fournier says snowing hard in Presque Isle. That's in the northeast corner of the state, corner of lower Michigan, I should say. Traverse City's had heavy rain, over an inch, and now light rain at 35, so not freezing there. But you get to Gaylord, snow, moderate snow, Grayling, heavy sleet reported, and into the northeast corner you get the light snow. So if you are traveling today, the treacherous weather is defined nicely with the warnings and advisories that are out. So there's your winter weather advisory from Houghton Lake to Tawas up to Oscoda. Then there's your winter storm warning from Alpena to the Mackinac Bridge and across the UP. So that's where you find the wintry weather today. Now, let's look at the radar forecast. And you'll see how we dry out over the next couple of hours over much of lower Michigan. So this is a model, remember. This is probably our best high-resolution model. Good morning, Larry. Good morning, Carmelita. Good morning, Connie Steiner. Linwood, good morning to you from Bangor Township. That's, what would we call that? We'd call that the north part of Bay City. The garlic and asparagus are going to enjoy this warmth. You are correct, sir. Okay, so 10 o'clock, 11, noon. You're done with the rain in Ann Arbor. You're seeing the rain end in the Detroit area, west side of Detroit. You're done. Pardon me, I got a sneeze coming. The Thumb, the showers are winding down. Traverse City, the showers are winding down. 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Sorry about that. The rain is pretty well done in lower Michigan, maybe still around Saginaw Bay. The snow pushes into the UP, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So we're heading toward a dry afternoon with some sunshine and turning crazy spring-like. So get out and enjoy it. It will come with a southwest wind, pretty stiff at gusting to 30 miles an hour. Overnight tonight, dry weather as snow continues across the western UP, but for lower Michigan, all dry tonight. This is midday and afternoon tomorrow. Still fairly dry, but we're getting into kind of an odd storm that is almost spring-like with thunderstorms. I'm going to show you a severe weather forecast here in just a moment, and it actually comes up almost to the Michigan border with some damaging wind potential, and I'll keep an eye on that. This is tomorrow evening. That's the warm front coming through again. This storm system again will be on the warm side. So with this next one, we get a shorter burst of showers and thunderstorms Thursday night, early Friday morning, and then as it moves off to the east, we do get into somewhat colder air. So on today's snowfall, you still got several inches far northeast shoreline. You still got 4 to 7 inches in the eastern part of the UP, but the rest of us, nothing. And as we go in through this next storm tomorrow night into Friday, no snow there. As far as ice yet to fall, freezing rain, 0.05 to 1/10 of an inch maybe this morning. So again, all of this points toward, if you're heading up I-75, once you get to about Houghton Lake northward, the roads will change dramatically, depending on how they're treated. Now, here's the bigger picture. So what you're going to see in this is we continue what I would call a fairly active storm track, and it's very normal for late February, early March. As you remember, winter is still trying to take a foothold, and the sun is really gaining power in the southern part of the U.S., and so that jet stream is being squeezed, and we oftentimes wind up right in the middle of it, and that's the storm track. But like I said, right now, even though these storm systems are fairly strong, it doesn't look like lower Michigan, at least, is going to be in any part of the what I'm calling the red, the red warnings, as far as heavy snow, ice, or severe weather. We're going to kind of be between all of those, fortunately. So here's our storm today. Then this is the storm on Friday. We'll take a little closer look. Right now, I'm just giving you the bigger picture. So there's the storm Friday, and then once it moves on to the east, colder air, I guess we better call it colder air if we're going to be 60 today. Colder air will kind of collapse down in. On the weekend, we will have some snow showers. By Sunday, you'll say, oh, okay, yeah, I guess it is still winter, and it is, and we know it is. A storm forms out in the Atlantic off the northeast. That helps pull some colder air down in, not, I emphasize, not Arctic air, just regular brand of cold for late February. By early next week, by Tuesday, we're already back to a southwesterly wind. The next storm center tracking across Lake Superior. Remember, if you are looking for a heavy snow, say some snowmobiling still, the low pressure center needs to track to your south. If you're looking to get into spring type weather, the low pressure center tracks to your north. And right now it's more springish than winterish. So by middle of next week, another cold front comes through. That can be thunderstorms again. And the next storm along the Canadian border too. And again, each one of these can pull down a couple of days of cold air with highs, 30 or upper 20s, but nothing that is looking really sustained in cold. One of my buddies, Dr. Judah Cohn, he studies the long range, and I read his discussion that he put out. He's kind of looking for the cold air to come back somewhat in early March. Seems plausible, but I think it's short-lived. I might have that lined up for you too. Now, this is the same scenario. This is the same model, just a little bit closer. So here's today. We dry out in the afternoon. Wait until you see these high temperatures coming. And don't be surprised when that sun comes out. You go like, wow, What happened? So now here's Friday. So this is Thursday night, Friday morning thunderstorms. And then, like I said, as we go into Saturday and Sunday, the snow showers, often on spurts, drop down in, swing all the way through into Monday. And then the next storm system is about Wednesday. But look at this. This is the tornado forecast for tomorrow morning to Friday morning. 5% chance down through southern Illinois, southern Indiana, 2% chance up to, 50 miles south of the Michigan border. So we're getting closer to being on the warm side of the storm. All right, now, hopefully you can handle this. So here is our high temperature forecast. And I know a lot of you now can probably handle 59 in Flint and 62 in Ann Arbor and 62 in Kalamazoo, 58 in Grand Rapids. Look at where the warm front makes it, to about Saginaw Bay and the Thumb. That's a very classic place for it to get bogged down. The Thumb, Port Huron, it gets bogged down because it's starting to get the Lake Huron cold air. Saginaw Bay, it gets bogged down. The Saginaw area gets the cold breeze off of Saginaw Bay. And it gets bogged down south of Traverse City as it gets the cold air coming off of Grand Traverse Bay, northern Lake Michigan. So there you go, the tale of two weather patterns. You want 62, head to Lansing southward. You want 32, head to Grayling northward. Tomorrow's still pretty mild, especially west side of the state. Grand Rapids, you're going to have another day in the 50s. Elsewhere in the 40s. Friday, temperatures in the 40s, upper 30s north. Then I talked about colder weather for the weekend. And, this isn't really too terribly cold. Highs on Saturday, 33 to 37 degrees. Sunday, colder. Highs about freezing for Saginaw, Grand Rapids, southward. Upper 20s, Traverse City, northward. Monday, cold too. Highs around 30 degrees. And then Tuesday back to the mid to upper 30s. Wednesday upper 30s to 40s. Thursday, Friday ahead of that next storm system, we could do this all over again. So that's going to be a very common temperature pattern, I would say, even though, it's a little bit ahead of its time. That's kind of a pattern that we usually get into in late March, maybe, where it's 60 one day, 32 the next day. So get ready for the temperature roller coaster, but what does that signal? It signals that the ground is warming to our south and everything is starting to shift northward. I don't expect this March to be anything really vastly different than what we've ever had, and we know March is sometimes cruel. Sometimes it gives you a good spring boost in the arm. A lot of times it gives us really what I call, for lack of a better word, snot falling out of the sky. But right now, even though we're in a stormy pattern, I don't have any big red flag for something extremely dangerous, except for today, going northward. You are going to run into full-blown winter road conditions from about Houghton Lake northward. So be careful there. Enjoy the sunshine when it comes out and watch the temperature soar. Let's all get out and enjoy it. Have yourselves a great day. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update, and I would appreciate your help. If you like this format of a weather update, tell two friends today. Let's go back to the old E.F. Hutton commercial. They tell two friends, and they tell two friends, and they tell two friends. Remember, it started out with 2 pictures and 4, and then by the time it was done, your TV screen was filled with all kinds of pictures of people. Tell 2 friends about my live updates and how to get there. I'd appreciate it very much. Take care.